How you doing, folks? Welcome to Come Get Some Studios. Today we're going to talk about this 22 bolt action Daisy rifle. But first off, we're going to do a little thing on rounds. Give you guys a little education for those of you that don't know your rounds, don't know what's what, and don't know your ammunition history as well as your gun history. So, this is a 22 rimfire round. It's a 22 long rifle. It goes into this nice 22 bolt action Daisy, which I will talk to you about here shortly. Basically what happens is the firing pin strikes anywhere on the rim of the round and sends that projectile out the barrel. So then you got your 40 caliber Smith & Wesson 186 grain round. Look how big that is compared to the 22. It's like, holy shit, this is a dinky motherfucker. Well, this is your 357, also a center fire cartridge, and it's a hollow point, semi-jacketed. Semi-jacketed means it's jacketed and then it's got a lead tip, and it's a hollow point. Okay, look at that. That goes into a revolver. That doesn't. See the difference in size? Long and skinny, short and fat, short and skinny. Oh, they got a short and tall one too? Maybe. We'll get to that one in a minute. This is a 38. Okay. Also semi-jacketed, round nose. And it's also a center fire cartridge. Look at that. Now, some for you folks that may not know this, if you own a 357, you can fire both rounds. Whoops. This 38 here and that 357 can be fired from the same 357 handgun. Nice to know, huh? They do. Walter actually makes a P229. I'm sorry, not Walter. Sig Sauer P229. The double 29 has a magazine that will hold both a 40 cal, as well as a 357 semi-automatic round. And the round for a 357 semi-auto looks like that, not like that. Yeah, this is revolver. That's a semi-automatic. And the 357 round does look like that a little bit. Not too much, but a little bit. But like I said, the Sig P229, the mag can hold both the 40 and the 357. However, the P229 has two barrels. You have a 357 barrel and you have a 40 barrel. So do not be shooting your 357 semi-automatic rounds through a 40 caliber barrel. You will fuck your shit up. That's why Sig has two specific barrels, one magazine. This is a 380, also center fire. This is 96 grains. TMJ, don't know what those stand for, but that's a badass hollow point. It looks like it's literally hollowed out and then there's nothing in the center except the bottom of the bullet. So if I blow into it, it's probably going to sound like a freaking I'm blowing into an empty bottle. I mean, that's what it literally looks like. If somebody out there can tell me what the initials stand for, please post it underneath in the comment section of this video. If not, I'm not worried about it. This is basically a 9mm Kurtz. If somebody out there in YouTube land can tell me if you can do the same with a 380 and a 9mm as you can the 357 with a 38. One gun, 2 rounds. Please leave that below too, because I'm not too sure. And I'd like to find out for myself and check into it. I might just call a gun manufacturer that does 380s and 9mm and see if a 380 can be fired from a 9mm, since it's a shortened version of a 9mm, just like the 38 is a shortened version of a 357. However, the 357 round cannot be fired, and I'll say this again, the 357, the .357 cannot, I emphasize, cannot be fired from a 38 revolver. It can only be fired from a 357 handgun. But look at that. Look at that. Almost as tall as that 22. Dum dum dum. What we all been waiting for. For you non-ammunition history buffs out there, and non-military and non-law enforcement, you probably don't know what that is. That, my friends, is a 223. Yes, that is a .22 tree. This is standard issue all over the country now. This is considered a NATO round, just like the 7.62 by 39. I can't remember which one is hard to find in other countries, but one of them is hard to find. The other one you can find anywhere, and that's why they call it a NATO round. But again, I don't know which one is the NATO round and which one isn't. I want to say the 7.62 by 39, but I'm not too sure. So if any of you military guys out there can tell me for sure, please leave that in the comment section below this. This, however, is a law enforcement's worst nightmare. I was at a police range requalifying, and one of the SWAT guys was testing variations of rounds and what they can do, because you know, gangs come up with these new guns with new ammunition, and the police purchase them, and then they take their old, almost uncertifiable bulletproof vests. Like, they get these vests that are like, oh, they're supposed to get them every 5 years. The department will probably have them go and give them a uniform voucher and go get one every 3 to 4 years. And some of the officers that are on the SWAT team, well, they like to test their ammunition out on their body armor, their old body armor. So, I actually seen a demonstration with one, and a 223 went through Kevlar like it was an ice pick, or as some folks like to say, a hot knife on butter. So these are some of the rounds that are out there that gangbangers do use. I know in some of the ghettos, these 22s are starting to pop up a lot more as far as handguns go. Because the gangbangers in the area I work, they like the 22s, the 380s, the 9mm. They don't really get into the 40s. Some do. Some like that 40, some like that 45. Everybody wants to be like 50 Cent, and you know, nobody wants to be like Ice-T and Ice Cube anymore, you know, or Eazy-E or NWA. No, they all want to be like, who's popular, like, yeah, like 50 Cent and Eminem and all of them. So, these are the rounds that are common out there, and that are used by gangs. I came across one felon. He was using a 7.62 by 39. He fired it from an AK-47 one 4th of July. So, yeah, needless to say, he went to jail. He did his time, and now he's back out in the public society. Oh, Lord. But good thing is the good guy's got his gun. Alright, so the main part and the main reason of this video. Now that you guys have heard me blabbing, this is a 22 bolt action Daisy Legacy. It is the first that I know of polymer and metal rifle that was not made in Austria. This gun, ladies and gentlemen, was made right here in the good old United States of America. And I am going to prove that. See? It's kind of upside down. Let's see if I can spin it around here. There we go. It's kind of blurred. Camera's having a hard time bringing it into focus. Basically what that says, oh, I almost had it. Basically what it says is Daisy Manufacturing Incorporated, Broderick or somewhere, Rogers, Arkansas, USA. This is steel and polymer. This is plastic. Where my hand is, where you see my thumb, is plastic. The black or the bluing is all metal. Now, as you can tell, its paint's kind of chipped off. There's a lot of use. I'll tell you right now, the last time I fired this was in 2013. The last time I fired it before then was in 1991. Now, this video that I saw earlier claimed that this guy claimed that he went to a gun show and he saw two of these. And the guy that was selling these at the gun show, the guy that owned the two, marked them up to $400. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, I notified Daisy and I asked them 2 questions. Actually, 3. I take that back. It was 3 questions. The first question was, how many of these did they manufacture? Which means, how many of these did they make? Second question was, how many are still in existence? Which means, how many are still around today? So, I'm waiting on that answer. The third and final question I asked Daisy was, if I were to go to a gun store today, obviously you're going to only be able to find these used. They only manufactured these in 91. Don't know how many. I'm waiting on the answer. But they made a good mass production of these. I think they were trying to get away from the .177 caliber BB gun, which everybody knows is, don't you try out, kid, Red Ryder BB gun that Ralphie made infamous in the Christmas Story. So we've got this wonderful piece of equipment. But this guy claimed that there was only 5 in the United States of America. That's what he was telling this guy that posted his 22 Daisy. Well, if that's the case, my brother had one and sold it, so there's 1. The guy at the gun store had 2. So that makes 3. The guy that posted on YouTube has 1. So now that makes 4. Oh, well, there's the 5th one in the United States, I guess, sitting right here. But I highly doubt, I highly doubt Daisy made 5 of these. The reason why I say I highly doubt it is because of the serial number. I'm going to assume, just off the serial number, and most gun manufacturers do this, they use a serial number as a way of marking how many guns were manufactured. So this one starts out with an AB and ends 7399. So they probably made 7,399 of these. Who knows? We don't know. That's why I'm waiting on answers from Daisy. But yes, some like if you get buy a firearm from the Franklin, whatever they think it is, a Franklin Mint or some shit like that, or the Bradford Exchange, or who knows what those collector groupies are. But normally when they give you a certificate of authenticity, the firearm serial number is also the certificate number. And a lot of manufacturers use, like, when the first Smith & Wesson was made, it started out with 1. Then it went 2, 3. And let's say the first handgun they made like, say they made 20 handguns. Guess what? You're going to have 1 through 20 as a serial number. And that could be off of a K frame, it could be off a J frame, it could be off an L frame. Who knows? They got all different type of frames and shit for these guns. And I'm not going to get into that. But assuming that my serial number is a way that to identify of how many rifles, the 22 long rifles they made, I'm going to say mine is 7,399. 7,399. And there's other numbers before it, but and then couple letters. But I mean to 7,399. So who knows? Don't know. But this gun is very easy to take apart. You got the trigger mechanism, which is right here. Okay, this is very easy. Basically, you push that button there and this pops out. To put it back into place, you just pop that, and that goes like that. Okay, then you sit here, and I like to, since it is out, I'm going to put a little gun oil into it, just so the bolt can slide with ease. And as you can tell, the slide's seen its time. And again, I apologize for all this camera movement, but now we put the slide back in, slide it that way, and that's that. Okay, so that is my 22. Now this guy that had his on there, he removed this rear iron sight, which was stupid, I think. I wouldn't have done it. And then he put a scope up here that he got from with another BB gun. That was stupid too. All of this is beat up on his, and you can tell that even all of this was beat up. But this is for a right-handed person. You know what gives it away? This is your cheek rest. As you can tell, it's raised. That's where your cheek goes. Bolt is on the right side of the firearm. So after you get done pulling the trigger, You pop the bolt and you slide it back. On his, this was busted out. This is a lock. I don't lock mine. I leave it to where I can adjust this rear stock, but he had this piece super glued to the back here, which was stupid on his part. I do want to try to find, because this and this is for a sling. So I would like to find a sling for this. As maybe a scope. Who knows? Maybe a scope. I don't know. But I would like to find a sling for this. I think that would probably increase the value of this rifle. And like I said, it's 22. There it is. It's a model 2202 caliber 22 long rifle only. Okay? And just so you know I'm not lying to you, Daisy Manufacturing Company Incorporated, Rogers, Arkansas, USA. And here's the funny part. Warning. For safe operation, read owner's manual before using. Daisy puts it on everything. Everything. So, but that is my video on my 22 long rifle Daisy bolt action from Daisy Legacy. If you got any questions, feel free, leave them below. And again, I'd like to thank our armed services for our constitutional rights and freedoms that we enjoy. I'd like to thank our law enforcement personnel for the outstanding job that they do. And if you're not an NRA member, I suggest you join. If you live in Illinois, I suggest you join the Illinois Rifle Association as well. To everybody else, be safe out there. Remember the key thing, these guns are not toys. So, safety first. See you all soon.